Hey guys, just making a quick video to share the method I've been using for Maggot King and some kind of general information about the boss. I just recently got the 6-hour record after improving my method and incorporating some stuff that I've learned recently. So yeah, I just thought I'd share what I've learned here with some other folks. Here's a quick overview of the setup. I use Harm Max Mage on the DPS calcs people have been looking at. Um, it looks kind of close, like maybe Shadow or ZCP, but I think that Harm is definitively the best, both by feel and also like those DPS calcs. It's not accounting for the burn damage, and also there's a new discovery within the past couple days. Players noticed that for every burn level it's at, like what the burn stack is ticking for, whether like 1 through 5. For every burn level, it's minus 20 magic defense as well. And even if the burn full resets, it'll get stuck at level 130 magic defense. It won't go back up to 150 even if it stops burning. So that really bolsters the magic, the harm max mage setup as well. So I got that for the setup, steering pages. I got Inquisitor Scythe on cross switch for the dragging method, which you'll see later in the video. Elder Maul for the punish, Inquisitor Mace for moments in the fight where you choose to do the 2-tick method to like finish off the boss for faster punishes. You could cut that. That's really minor. CCP for the spec, Blood Fury to heal up. Pretty self-explanatory stuff. I got Lava, Air, Wrath, and Law in the pouch. The Lava is important where if you forget, like if you're switching quickly in the fight and you miss the tome, you don't want to lose any ticks if you want to go for your attack. So you have that as kind of backup so you can still attack. And then this set of runes gives you access to POH and Sears, so you don't need a max escape in the setup. I'm going to go over an example Maggot King kill here to share how I've been farming it. So I start in the southwestern corner, and we mage away from the start. And you want to stay in the southern 2 rows to not rag the first row for melee. And so here you're looking to get it to, I think it's below 85%. It's up around 1250. That's when a grub will spawn. If you don't get it that low, it'll just screech with no grub. And so when it screeches, you need to take off your prayer to avoid taking damage. And so from the Red Eye guide, I learned if you click somewhere that's 2 tiles away from any shadow, then that automatically dodges everything. And so you can focus on attacking the boss and dealing with the grub. And so the thing with the grub is you need to shoot it with Webweaver. The mechanic here is a standard range weapon, so it can't be bolts, can't be darts. It's got to be like arrows or Webweaver counts. But it'll one-shot it in the air. You'll hit 30. But let's just rewind a sec here. So what I do is you take off, and then you can shoot like 2 more times. You dodge and then go for your Webweaver. You don't have to do it right away. So try not to lose any ticks with your harm staff. But what you do is right after you cast, you equip an attack in the same tick. So you see the expert ups right after there. And then you can continue harming without losing any ticks. And so then I go over here to the right side. And there's like 2 reasons for this. One is to just kind of help me remember that, like, okay, I'm over here, so then when it screeches, the next one will be range, because I went to like the opposite side, which is like I have these yellow tile markers. But the other reason is that we want to have it do a sweep across the room to do this Scythe Elder Maul dragging method that we'll get into in a second. So here I switched to Mage Prey now. And if you don't know, every screech it switches between Rage and Mage. Go for a ZCB spec. I'm continuing to place the acid to not, to give myself more space. Here, it doesn't matter if you go all the way north here because we need those front row tiles going back to the west. So it's fine here to do it. So now here, it's screeched, and so what you want to you want to position yourself so you're like a tick away from dragging up to the boss. Back row be kind of bad for this. So if you get it around like 950 HP, I think it's like 65%. If you before the screech, so when it screeches, it'll go into melee phase. Otherwise, it'll just switch to range prey and stay in that maging phase here. And so what's going to happen here is I take off my prayer, put on piety, and do a full side switch. So let's do it over time. So I'm ready, and then I take off the prayer, put on piety, full switch, and then attack right away. And then you go for a Webweaver on the grub. And now it's the same mechanic as the Doom Grub, so that actually gives you a 4-tick scythe, so it kind of helps a little bit too. And so here's the method for the dragging method. So you're getting ready for the stomps, and then you just take it west. 1 maul, And so different from like the two tick method is you stay on the edge. And so what this is doing is it's slowing down the boss. And so I think this kill might have been a good example of it here, the one that I picked out, where because you're lengthening it a little bit, you're making it more likely for it to stay in melee phase. Because if you can get it under that, like, I don't know the percentage, but it's like a little bit below 300, maybe around like 280 HP or so, it'll stay in melee phase. And so you can keep getting punishes and finish off the kill, and you don't have to return to the mage phase. So you'll see here, step back, maul, scythe. Maul, scythe each time. And now the cool thing about this is that your scythe can be on, or your maul, oh sorry, no, the scythe can be on different ticks. So based on how you started the phase and like whether you did that grub thing perfectly or whether you went for like an extra harm shot as it was coming up, your scythe might be on a different tick, but that's okay. Like you can be 1 tick, 2 tick, or 3 ticks after the maul. Like all that's fine. And so here I got it just below that threshold. Yeah, it's probably like 20%, but I got it just below that threshold. So it'll stay in melee phase. And so here, so a grub spawn, so I just went for a scythe and then got the grub. So that 4 ticks the scythe. And then this is the use case for the mace. You could cut this out of the setup if you want, but I do a bit of the 2 tick method here. It's a little bit more DPS efficient because you get more punishes. You get punishes at a faster rate. So this is good if you like know for a fact like you're gonna be killing it here. So I just do mace, and then I KO it with the scythe here for overkill. Here's another way the kill can play out and how to deal with it if you don't manage to keep it in melee phase at the end. It returns to mage phase. So it's shooting with mage projectiles here, and then it goes into melee phase, and I do the drag method and take it west. So I'll skip this phase. And so here, it ends the phase. I think the phase can be like variable length too. So it ended a little early, or either that or I did bad DPS. And so because it was mage last, I remember that I need to put on range prey because it alternates. And so I put on my mage gear, dodge the shadows, I attack twice, and then I zoom out and go for a web weaver on the guy that's on the opposite side of the room. And then another key thing here is, because I have to go through this whole phase with the acid projectiles, I run away from the front row, because this is where I'm going to kill it at the end, so I don't want to rag all those tiles. Some will get cleared, but, you know, you don't want to have a bad front row. When you step on the poison, I think either one, it can cause you to lose attacking ticks. Same with missing, if you like leave your prayer on during the Screech Chew, you'll lose a bunch of ticks. Stepping on the acid will like drain your remaining anti-poison timer, so not such a big deal if it doesn't like lose you any ticks. But the yellow one is really bad. That one will like drain some of your melee stats, like attack, defense, or strength, and so that could lose your DPS. So yeah, leaving that front row alone is a good idea. So here I like, I'm away from the front row as good as I can. I can skip ahead, or skip a little too much there. And then go into the meleeing, I get the 1 grub, and finish it off. And then again, like the last clip, I just do the 2 tick method here. Because I know it's going to be dead for sure, so I just want to get the punishes faster to kill it. I'll also go over here, like the timing, in case you are familiar with the stomp timing. So you click like the latest tick you can dodge is you click to move away when the shadows appear on the ground, and then the tick after is the tick that you click for the punish, and that's like when the head is like shooting out of the Maggot King, as well, if you want like a visual cue. So I click on like the shadows appearing, kind of anticipate it, and then click to attack right after, and put on your scythe and attack for whatever that tick is. And then for the, when you're in that 2 tick cycle, so again, click to like move out, click to attack right away, and then you go right back in if you want to do this 2 tick cycle. As soon as the clouds are appearing from the stomp itself, that's the tick you click back in. And then you equip attack on the next tick. So out on the black shadows, equip attack, back in on the white, and then mace attack when you're in, just like that. Here's a clip to show things that can go wrong in the 2 tick method that bolsters the argument for the dragging method. One argument is that it's easier, you know, scythe into Elder Maul, way fewer clicks, way less risky. But another benefit here is because for this method, you're like kind of locked into these tiles. you see here in this clip here, I end up just stepping into that yellow, and so there you see I went down to 17 strength, so that's bad already. And then you see how it's spawning poison. I think it likes to use a consistent pattern, so it's like spitting out poison. But when you start up the method, it can like choose to put poison on the tile you want to go to. And so if you're doing the 2-tick method just by default all the time, you might be signing up for more stat drain as well. Here's a bad clip from a different session, so you can see like what kind of things can go wrong. So when it's going into melee phase, which I think happens in a second here, if you don't take off your overhead, you take a bunch of damage. I think you get. Did I get smited too? Yeah, look at that. I'm like 20 prayer going into this. So you get smited, you take a bunch of damage, and then look at my attacking ticks here. I'm like trying to attack and you just can't attack for a long time. And so I messed up so bad there I left the grub alive. And so this is another good clip to show kind of the benefit of killing the grub. So it's not just being able to 4-tick your scythe if you do the web weaver fast enough. The boss is constantly healing for ones as the grub moves around. I think the mechanic here is as it goes over this these like meat patches that the boss throws out, it eats that. And then so it eats and then it eats, and so it's like healing. And then if it's on top of you, it stays on top of you, constantly damaging you. So that can be a real headache. I hope that helped or you learned something new. I always love sharing. If I got anything wrong or you got anything you think I could improve on here, let me know in the comments. Or if you got any questions, comment them below and I can reply to those. But yeah, good luck farming the new boss.